Wednesday, damn it, is Talkie Talk Day.
Rumble in the distance, hear the ground shake. The wreck is coming, no escape. Step aside, I break the chains. Storming through like a runaway train. No mercy, no pause, no fear in my eyes. Watch the empire fall when the titan arrives. I am the wreck, I am the fire, fueling the rage.
All right, it's Wednesday, which is Talkie Talk Day, apparently. I am your host, Coletrane, and man, we're kind of small up on there, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
We're all itty bitty tiny. Let me get this cursor over here and fix all that mess.
There you go.
Oh, that's too big. There we go. That's purty. I am Coletrane, and next to me is Shell Train.
Hello.
And we don't know where Miss Jackson is right now. She probably missed the donkey or the wagon or the tractor or the crop duster or the car that gets her the crop duster. But, you know, it is what it is. So we are hoping that she is, just late or not asleep or whatever. Hey, Mikey, how you doing, bro? How's your grandma? She took a little tumble, so I'm hoping she's okay.
Yeah.
He's a
That's
good
scary.
kid, that dude. Today, what is the title I put up there? Thick Skin, Thin Patience, Surviving the Modern Circus. And life is a circus, and some days it just feels like the clowns are running the whole goddamn thing. So tonight, basically, we're going to talk about the people who try to police your emotions, like the TSA for feelings. Why tariffs hit you right in the wallet because people don't seem to understand what's actually going on here. Of course, we got Darwin's dumbass deaths. And let's see, what the hell is that all about? I don't remember that shit. Oh, yeah, of course I do. Emotional, mental, and financial success. Oh, yeah, and there's this little thing about me being related to an outlaw.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. And, of course, nobody really went to the post where the, I guess you call it a quiz or, survey or whatever. So during the show, I'll give out clues here and there. But who's your guess on a famous outlaw, Wild West outlaw that I am actually related to by blood? I got outlaw blood running through my veins.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, I think we all knew that anyway.
Yeah.
So you have normally this is where I'm like, hey, how's your day? Or how's your week been, JJ? But she's not here.
No. She just sent me a message saying that she's coming. She's on her way.
Oh, well, I guess she didn't have it charged up in time, huh?
Yeah. No, it's something about her.
That went way over your head. I'm sure. Lana says Billy the Kid. I'm not going to say who's right or wrong until the end of the show. And I may have a prize. So Billy the Kid, someone else said Billy the Kid. Someone else said, God, I can't remember what they said.
I can't remember either. It's last week, right?
Let me check that right quick. But yeah, keep your guesses coming and I will throw out clues. Number one, he is a famous outlaw. I did mention last week that he has a nickname that he absolutely hated.
Yep.
And the papers insisted on calling him this. I had the same kind of nickname it was the same nickname, but from assholes. Let's just put it that way. It was, it wasn't meant to be flattering, but I guess all in all, it kind of was.
Sometimes you have to embrace it.
That's it. That's all you can do.
Yep.
Let me see here.
Hey, Ghost.
What's going on, Ghosty?
Well, while you're looking for that, I I wanted to remind everybody that this month is Suicide Prevention Month. And so if you are having negative thoughts, dark thoughts, give yourself 5 minutes. If you need somebody to talk to, you can always call or text 988. If you decide to go on the internet and want to use the long URL is 988lifeline.org/chat.
And
the other one, yeah, just a second, getting it. Oh, very tiny. The black line, and I can't read that. Just
provide space for peer support, counseling, reporting of mistreatment, witnessing, and affirming the lived experiences for folks who are most impacted by the systematic oppression with an LGBTQ and Black female lens. It's not just for Black people, it's for Indigenous, any people of color, anyone who's gay, anybody who is oppressed or marginalized. This is for you. Excuse me. It's going to be people who understand. What did Mikey just say?
Butch Cassidy.
Butch Cassidy. It's a good guess. It was Jesse James, the other guy said.
Oh, that's right.
So far we got Jesse James, Billy the Kid, Butch Cassidy. Never know, huh?
Yep, not yet.
So let's start with the whole feelings police thing about how it's just, where's my guy at here? Here he is. God damn it, you feel what I tell you to feel.
Yes.
I've noticed lately, especially since this whole killing thing, there's been a lot of weird shit going on as far as the First Amendment. The guy who died proclaiming that the First Amendment is like basically the best thing ever, and that's why he had a job, was to be able to say whatever he wanted to say his truth, which was not based on evidence at all whatsoever.
Right.
So speaking your truth is really speaking your opinion, because the truth is actually based on analytics, science. Yeah, facts. So the fact that there were a couple of Minnesota senators that were killed, the fact that there was a little girl over there in Palestine that was shot 350 times, the fact that there was
Mr. Pelosi was attacked.
Yeah, got hit with a hammer. And all the people on the right were cheering this shit. They were making memes and all that. And that's the thing I can't stand, is people who are hypocrites.
Yes.
Because if I say something and then I'm wrong and you prove me wrong, you can celebrate all the fuck you want, because I was wrong, and that's all there is to it. But people nowadays are taking facts almost as if they are personal attacks. And one of the huge reasons why Trump did win this election, for some reason, there was a lot of people who couldn't decide, so they didn't show up.
Yeah.
But also the people that want to speak their truth, because he's a guy that's just like them. He can say anything he wants to say, racist or not, proclaim as not racist, come up with some bullshit stat that was fabricated by the FBI, especially black on black crime. And I'll even hear other black people, there's black on black crime. Okay, well, yeah, there's black people committing crime against black people, but where's the statistics on white on white crime?
Right, exactly.
I need to see that. I want to see that.
Yep.
I want to see brown on brown crime. But that's the thing. They take these groups that are marginalize them more, and say, hey, even though we're the ones that cut your wages, even though we're the ones that gave those people your job, even though we're the ones that cut your insurance, even though we're the ones that don't give a fuck about you, as long as we get our 758 times what you make, then fuck you.
Right.
And the thing is, there is the Stockholm syndrome from employees that, you could talk about the corporation. You could say the same shit they were complaining about, But it's like suddenly it's personal. Like, hey, well, that's what they do. Is, that's indoctrination right there. So from the time we're born, we are told America's the greatest, America's the greatest, America's the greatest. Anybody else is the enemy unless they help America.
Mm-hmm.
When I was growing up, it was the Cold War, so we were afraid of Russia before we knew they were idiots. And, we used to have those drills and shit out in the hall and, just in case they wanted to bomb us, because, if we gather in a hall, a nuclear bomb ain't going to get to us.
Right.
That's about the same philosophy as like if the killer's in your room, but you get up under the covers, he can't get you. But if you got one toe hanging out that, you are in extreme danger of the boogeyman getting your ass.
Right.
So, but my point is, it's been getting violent out there. I mean, physically, verbally, emotionally. I've seen people all over the internet talk about it was taken out of context. And it's like, how the hell could that possibly be in the right context?
Right.
When you talk about, when I get on a plane and I see a black pilot, I think, boy, I hope he's qualified.
Right. Yeah.
They don't let you fly the fucking plane if you're not qualified, dipshit.
Exactly.
Apparently black women don't have the mental capacity to do a lot of the things that white women do. And I think we know that's not correct.
Right.
Because I've met a bunch of vapid ass white girls. I've yet to meet a vapid black woman.
Right.
There was one
Mm-hmm.
that hung out with a bunch of white people. So, and the thing is, you can get mad at me all you want for all the things I say, but here's the reality. Most of you have never lived a black life.
Right.
But I live both. I have to live in your world. And not only do I have to live in your world, I'm half white.
Yep.
So anything I say about y'all pasty face motherfuckers, I got every right to.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of that, how they always say it's always the black dads that take off. It was the white daddy that took off on me. So let that shit sink in.
Exactly.
But hey, thanks for the genetics. All right. Moving on. Enough about the feelings police. Let's take a real quick break, and hopefully by the time we get done with that, a certain Miss JJ will be in the studio. So we'll be right back after this. You are currently watching TraneWreck'D, a Jaded Zen Entertainment property. Copyright 2025, all rights reserved. You're currently watching us live on YouTube. Good for you. But if you're not subscribed, you need to go down to that lower right-hand corner of the screen. There's a red square with a red triangle in the middle of that. Hover your cursor over it, click, boom, you're subscribed just like all the other cool kids. If you're currently watching us on Facebook, you may want to come over to YouTube to the live portion because their subscription has its benefits. So go ahead and click that YouTube QR code and get yourself over to the YouTube channel. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally on Facebook, here is my page. Just click that QR code, drop me a DM or drop a comment. And also, if you want to get in touch with our business page on Facebook, it's right here, Jaded Zen Entertainment, or just click the QR code. And don't forget, every Tuesday and Thursday night at 6:05 p.m. Eastern, you can see Coletrane on the Star Maker Bowling Show. Again, that's at 6:05 p.m. Eastern every Tuesday and Thursday. Click that QR code, and I encourage you to subscribe there as well. Now, let's get back to the show. No, I really need to use that pop filter because them P's and S's were. Other people probably don't notice it, but I do.
Yeah, I don't. I'm listening more to the song in the background because I love it. I'm just jamming.
You just love anything.
I'm a nerd. Did Randy's comment get put up?
She retracted it. It looks like.
Okay.
But she had like 13 guesses though.
She's got 3. Yeah.
Oh, mercy. Okay, so we are going to talk about tariffs. And I actually even brought along some, what do you call those? Visual proofs and whatnot. So let's take a look here. What makes tariffs make prices go up? Okay, so if it's you know what? There might be some MAGA people watching. Kid friendly. Okay, so if the foreign factory makes the toy, U.S. border tariff equals tax on imports. Importer/store buys and sells, correct? So what happens is, I got to take my glasses off for this. So with a $10 toy, no tariff, $10 plus 1 equals $11 at the store. If the government collects 25% tariffs plus 2% tax, the cost is now $13.50. So essentially what happens is it really, for all you morons that think it brings like a bunch of shit to the table, what it really does is it's a tax on the stupid.
Yep. It's
Because-
exactly what Mikey says.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Because what happens is the people that import, they have to pay the taxes on that shit. What's
Yep.
going on, Gonzo? And then in turn, they either have to eat that and their profit goes away,
I was going to say,
or
you
they
know
have
they
to
won't.
pass it along. Oh yeah, you know they ain't gonna eat it.
Mhm.
There were a few companies that tried for a while. I think Costco was one. I can't think of the other ones, but a lot of the auto industries try to eat it as much as possible, but now it's
Yeah.
starting to get impossible
Yep.
because what people forget, even if a car is made here, the parts might not be.
Right.
So the steel tariffs and all the shit coming from other countries, you know, the dashboard could be coming from plastic and vinyl from here, the steel from here, the rubber from here, and they all come together. It's the same thing with medicine. Certain chemicals come from certain countries, and when they're getting tariffed, you're getting taxed for the shit.
Yep.
And you can't tell me that you haven't noticed it. Mikey, a bottle of soda is almost $4.
Yep.
Yeah, and you're right, man. I don't want to see what it's like in NYC because
Right.
it was about $4 when we went 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So what else? Even Starbucks, you know, they're it seems like they're doing little tricks to keep their prices consistent, like giving you more ice and less, you know, coffee. I can taste that watery shit.
Right.
Or you know, just the quality of the cups aren't quite as good because I've had a few tops that don't have the extra hole.
Mhm.
So when you're drinking, it comes chugging out all slow, and you might dribble it all down yourself.
Or the lid doesn't fit very well on it, so then you pick up the cup and it just splatters all over you.
Oh, you give it the slightest little squeeze, and it just
Right.
erupts all over your pants and such. So here's a couple of other little charts here. So output, again, 1440. Imported with tariff, 1890. No tariff, $12. Tariff, 1320.
Yep.
So I mean, I'm making this as simple as possible because when cults of personality get up there and they just start rambling and ranting, it gets believable to people who want to believe. Especially if they like this cult of personality for one specific reason. And a lot of it's racism for a lot of y'all. Don't act like it ain't.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's too much shit going on for you to tell me otherwise. And I've had too much experiences myself. But get me back to where I was. See, that's what I get for ranting.
When they increase the prices, for a lot of it is racism.
Oh.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing is I mentioned earlier, instead of blaming the boss, instead of blaming the shareholders, instead of blaming the powers that be and that CEO that while you're making $17 an hour, he's making $17 million a week. You know, I do too, Bobby.
I do too.
But you know, and he's you know, playing a MAGA guy right there. But that's what it is. It's just like no matter what people bring out, 34 felony counts guilty, several sexual assault counts coming as soon as he's out of office. You think that anybody that builds a basement for like $2 million for a ballroom plans on leaving that place in 3 years?
Right.
So his crazy ass is going to try to run for a third term. And what's going to happen is his cronies are going to somehow let it happen. Look at the people who surround him. And this is a thing where Americans get pissed off about being called dumb. And a lot of people switched over to the MAGA side because they feel like the leftists were too elite. All the college kids and everything that, you know, you should have an education. So instead of bettering themselves, they decided to say, fuck you guys. I'm going to be stupid over here.
Yeah. Just
You
follow
know,
the
because
flock.
honestly, if somebody calls me stupid because I don't know something, I'm going to be pissed off. But on the low, I'm going to go over there and try to read about this shit that I don't know nothing
Right.
about.
Exactly.
You know, Gonzo, you got it. Divide and conquer is the
Yep.
exact same thing Hitler did. The Jews were the problem.
Yep.
The Polish were the problem. Anybody who doesn't have blonde hair and blue eyes like he didn't. was the problem.
Right. Exactly. Isn't that the ironic thing?
It is, you know, and it's just like some of these whitewashed people like Cash Patel, you know, and a lot of these hardcore, like, you know, Mexican nationalists that are voting for Trump because he tells the truth. And, you know, I've got 3 separate stories of people who regret their decision because either their wife got deported or they themselves got held up because of their brown skin
Right.
and had to answer an hour's worth of questions and shit. This wasn't what we voted for. Yes, the fuck it was. You just didn't think it was going to apply to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Because let's be honest, a lot of y'all want to align with white people. Y'all want to be white so bad. You know, and me, I'm half, but I'm
Yep.
it seems like the genetics that needed to take over took over, you know, and thank God. See, Joel Walsh said it often. Republicans are assholes, but Democrats look down on us. People just take the assholes rather than the snob, which is stupid. You know, it's like, because whether somebody's a snob or not, you know, if they got something going on over there I want a piece of, you know, I'm going to go on and get that piece and, you know, develop thick skin. Oh, that's part of the title, isn't it? Man.
Well, doesn't that just come around in a circle?
Well, and that's the thing, though, is the right, the ones that are always complaining about the left doing this and doing that and this and that. The second they get caught doing it, oh, that was different.
Right.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
But it's at the point to where even when Obama was in office, he had no controversies. He had no scandals. Him and his wife clearly loved each other. They had a family that clearly lived together and loved each other. And when he wore that tan suit, motherfuckers lost their minds. It was 3 days worth of news coverage. Y'all remember that. And if you don't, you're too young or you're willfully ignorant. But a fucking tan suit was the issue.
Yeah.
Now you get a guy who is a felon over and over, tells you that smart people don't like him, and y'all too dumb to pick up on that.
Right.
See, and that's what we're saying. Fucking educate yourself, because there's a bunch of former MAGA that is like, I don't understand how you fell into that shit to begin with, but congratulations for waking up. Some of the dumbasses took 2 terms. And here's the facts. Every time a Democrat's in office, the economy starts rising. Every time a Republican's gone in, they have crashed the shit. He's already put several billion more on our deficit.
Yes.
And you guys don't see that he's making these like dictator-like parades. He's banning, what was the latest ban I just saw like minutes before I got on here? His schools need to expel anybody who was, you know, doing any kind of making fun of his death or whatever. But there was none of that shit there was no national anything for George Floyd.
Right.
It was just minding his business. You know, Breonna Taylor, who was just laying in bed.
In her house. Yep.
In her house. You remember that one brother that got shot in his crib by that white cop in Dallas?
Oh, yeah.
Because she walked into the wrong apartment?
Yep. Exactly. Because she supposedly said that she was trying to use her taser. And
No, that was a different one.
I'm sorry. But
no, she full blown shot his ass because she thought he was an intruder.
in a different house.
I don't care how drunk, high, just got out of a sleeper hold, just woke up. I'm going to know within 5 seconds if this is my house or not.
Right?
you know?
Yeah. I mean, you open the door and my house is probably not set up like everybody else's house or anybody else's house. So you notice that right away.
Bob. Yeah. I mean, just the atmosphere, the smell, just as soon as you open the door, you know what your house smells like, because I remember like each one of my aunts, each house had a different smell. It wasn't like a stink or nothing like that. It was just the mixture of whatever their perfumes, whatever they cook, whatever,
candles, incense.
But it was always, you could by scent tell which house was which. And, scent is closely tied to memory. So that is one tip. If you have a bad memory, during any experience you have, smell something, a rose or, food or something like that, and it will transport you right back to that space. Well. Look who came staggering in. From the part of Nebraska that nobody knows about, which is 90% of it. Anything east of Lincoln anyway, or west of Lincoln, I should say.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
If you're nasty, Miss Jackson, where you been at?
Hi, guys. I need to lie like I didn't just wake up, because I did.
Mm-hmm.
Dialysis kicked my ass hard, and so I laid down to take a nap, and I did not, and I didn't set an alarm. So sorry. It took, of course, my Tyra calling me a couple of times, and then
there she is.
And then dropping in on my Alexa like, "Mom," and I'm like,
oh, and those types of waking up is just awful, because your heart's pounding like, what the fuck?
All you can do is say shit 13 times in a row while you're looking for everything.
Yes.
Exactly.
I'm just like, okay, I gotta get this. I gotta get this together. And so I'm here, guys. I'm here.
Did you
know what, Gonzo?
Yep.
The funny thing is, I was thinking about that yesterday. So let's see what happens in the next few months coming up, huh?
Yes. Elena, our daughter, does too. I have to wake that child up a couple times every morning.
God.
I don't usually sleep through the ones in the morning, but I mean, I can go back to sleep after those, because I just got to get the kid out the door. But but in the afternoon, and I was pissed when I went to sleep. So there's that.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you were all pissed off earlier.
I was pissed. Those people at dialysis pissed me off.
Dang, they just steady on your nerves, ain't they?
They really are, and they just don't understand how badly that's going to end for them, not me.
Oh yeah, no.
Right. They don't know who they're messing with.
Okay, so I was late today.
Mm-hmm.
Backstory. See, I've been late all day. Okay. Backstory. I went to see my son's son yesterday, and he was taking the stereo out of my car and putting in a new one. Well, the new one that I got didn't come with the correct harness, so I wouldn't have been able to use the buttons on my steering wheel. So he put it back in, and he said, I just guessed on the time because I didn't know what time it was. So just, make sure you adjust your time. Well, I got in the car and I went home, and I didn't think anything of it. And yes, I actually have a watch on. Doesn't seem to matter, does it? But so I get to dialysis, and I was like, ooh, my car radio is a lot off. And one of the texts goes, yeah, you're late. And I said, yeah, but I'm fucking here.
Right.
So I took a nap, and when I woke up, there was a sticky note stuck to my little notebook. This is what I use to answer the phones for my nephew and his girlfriend's business. Okay.
Yep.
So there was a note stuck to that said, for Friday's treatment, please be here at 10:30, which is your scheduled time.
I'll try to have a
Bitch.
little attitude.
Mm-hmm.
So I picked up the note and I said, who wrote this? Like, who wrote it? And nobody would take,
Accountability. Mm-hmm.
nobody would take a claim for it. And so there was 3 of them there. And I was like, you know what? Fuck you, and fuck you. Who's next? And they were like, what does that mean? And I was like, if you had something to say to me, you could have woke me up and said it instead of waiting until I get up already grouchy and decide to give me a sticky note. I was like, I will get here when I get here. It's you guys' fault from changing me from 3 hours and 15 minutes to changing me from 3 hours and 45 minutes. So now I have to be here longer. If you want me to be here longer, then you motherfuckers are going to have to be here longer. Leave me alone or put me back to my regular time, because I get here when I can. I've got shit to do, and that's just that. I've got a home, I've got 2 dogs, a mom, and a kid. Like, shit happens every day.
Right.
And I don't need this bullshit from y'all
Mm-hmm.
about being here on time. After 16 years, you motherfuckers are lucky I'm here.
Right. Exactly.
And they're like, well, it makes it hard for us to do your job if you're not on. And I said,
Oh, shut the fuck up.
This is exactly what I'm saying. This is your job.
Exactly.
This is my life.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay? So whether I show up and get 10 minutes of dialysis, or I show up and I get the whole 3 hours and 45 minutes, I'm here. So just let that shit go.
Yep.
And so that's how I ended my day. And then Aria called me. Funniest shit ever. Aria called me because I wasn't home when she got home. She was like, where are you at? And I said, I'm taking a little bit longer to get home from dialysis because I had to cuss somebody out. She says, can I cuss? And I said, what? She's like, can I cuss just for a minute? And I said,
she has some shit to get off her mind.
I said, yes, you can. She said, who said some fuck shit at dialysis?
Damn. She's already in training.
Yeah.
That's listening to me and Tyra. When we put each other on speaker, we're like, okay, you're going on speaker. Don't say no fuck shit. She's caught up with it and she's gotten it. And I'm like, whoops.
And used it correctly.
Yep.
Correct.
That's the thing that, like, you can't even get mad when they use it
Right.
correctly. Because
I
Gabby
tried
was
so
3
hard
years
not to
old.
laugh.
We used to, like, we're pretty lenient on what we let her watch because we figured it's in the world anyway. Like, why pretend it's not there?
Yeah.
So we were watching what was that
Reno
show?
911.
Reno 911. But it was the Miami, like when they went, it was a movie. And somebody had said what the fuck earlier, and the way they said it was funny. And I was like, all right, baby, it's time for bed. And she was what? She wasn't 3. She was like
Probably 2.5, 3.
2.5. I was like, all right, we got to turn it off and go to bed. She was like, what the fuck? And we were like, yeah, we had to correct her, but at the same time, we were just wanting to die because she used it so correctly.
Trying not to crack up. I was in the car and I was like, okay, now that's your last cuss word for today. Notice I said today.
Today.
Yeah,
Yep.
She'll be
Gotta get it out
13 years
sometimes.
old. So
Well, yeah, I mean, that's
I know
reality.
she cusses when I can't. I know she cusses when I can't.
But people like the morality police and shit like that, they'll try to make you believe, like, well, when you cuss, it's just because you run out of ideas. No, there are studies that say that the most intelligent people cuss all the time because we ain't got time to be trying to figure shit out.
And they're more honest. They're more honest than
that's
people.
exactly, we're not muting ourselves is what it is.
Yeah, we don't have to try to think of different words that won't offend people.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they're nothing but grunts that we all decided was terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all they are, just grunts. I was like, that one's good, that one's bad. Just because in other countries, they don't know what the fuck we're talking about. So like their cuss words are like over in England, like bugger is, a a little offensive.
Right.
But they say cunt on a regular basis. And
Yeah.
over there, it don't mean the same thing it means over here.
Exactly.
And bloody hell.
Bloody hell. Yep.
Because I'll watch their shows. I'm like, you can't say that. I was like, oh, that means some different shit to them. Like, I mean, not really, but they take it a different way.
Yeah.
You know, it's like being an asshole over here.
But you know, I have to say, because my
I can't picture
family
you cussing, Elena. Be all cute.
yeah, my parents do not cuss.
Yeah, they
I've
do.
heard
Oh, that's
well in front
Yes,
of
they
us.
do.
In front of us, kids.
Oh,
I've heard my
Lee
mom.
has dropped several F-bombs in
Well,
front of me.
Okay, when I was growing up, they did not cuss. I heard my dad say shit one time when he sliced his hand open. And I heard my mom say shit one time when she saw a mouse run across the bathroom floor when she was in the bathroom. And so other than that, there wasn't swearing in the house at all. I didn't swear in high school because I was a total nerd and went to church and all that stuff. But it was so hard once I grew up and I just started swearing because it's easy to swear when you're trying to explain things. And going from that to have to go to my parents' house and filter myself, it is really, really hard.
You know, my whole thing was, what the fuck are you gonna do to me?
Yeah.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
you're grown. As long as I don't cuss at my mother, which I don't, I will be telling her a story and I will cuss in the story.
Oh yeah, me and mom
you
tell
know.
cussy stories all the time.
Yeah.
But I never say fuck you or nothing like that.
Right,
Well,
That's-
yeah,
right.
no.
And you be seeing white kids do that shit all the time.
Oh, I know.
Billy, don't say that.
Yeah.
Like, you want me to come and slap him? Because I'll do that.
Man, I've given the look,
As long as
say,
you
I'll slap him
give
if you
me
want me to.
permission, we're okay. I'll slap the shit out of him for you.
There was one time, I don't know if you were with me, Michelle, but it was an older black lady. I could tell it was the kid's grandma and or great grandma, because she was probably 60, 70, something like that. And this little motherfucker was bad. And he was just, fucking around, and she said you could tell, like, as soon as they get home, that ass is getting whooped, because that little whooping hand was starting to twitch and shit. And she said something like, quit doing something. And he said something back smart. He was like, no. I raised my eyebrows at him like that, and he just kind of sank back down. And I looked at her, and she was like,
they know who's going to take it. They know who's not. And they know when you're not playing with them.
yep.
Right.
I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. It's like, you're going to speak better to your grandmother from here on out, right?
Yep.
Because if
And
not,
that's a community thing.
is there-
Like, that's a total community thing. We're all about respecting the elders.
yeah,
And of course you see the booze in the street and shit like that fuck it up as far as the image goes.
Right.
But
and
yeah.
as far as being elders, they don't even want to act like elders sometimes.
Mhm.
And it's like, you realize these kids are looking up to you, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
And
you
even
got-
if you say do what I say, not what I do, they're gonna do what you do.
Right. Oh yeah.
Every time you try to make something sound alluring by like, don't do that, that's the first thing I'm like, ooh, something's good over there. You saving all that for yourself.
Exactly. Yep.
Speaking of community, we'll talk about this next week, but I just recently saw an article that said Black fathers are the most the closest with their kids, do the most with their kids, essentially. That I can't even word it the right way. Let me see if I can find it. But essentially spend more quality time with their kids.
Mm-hmm.
And of course there's the whole, Black kids don't have fathers and yada yada yada. Whatever the fuck. There's also the rumor that there are more Black people in prison than there are in college. And you know what?
not
It's
true.
the reverse, 4-1.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, oh yeah, Gonzo talking about that switch.
Oh,
Did you see last week's when we were talking about that, Gonzo? Or it was the week before, because that was on the preview part of the
Yep.
show.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember, and walking into the house, you just hear that, because the wind is just.
and you're like, do I want it to make the sound?
Mhm. But if
Right.
you get a thick one though, that's
If it
your ass.
doesn't make the sound, they're gonna come out here and pick the switch, and then
Exactly.
they're gonna be pissed, and you're really gonna get it.
Yep.
Big time. Well, let's do a quick station ID, and then we'll come back with some funnies, which means Darwin is in the house. So we'll be back right on the other side of this. You are currently watching TraneWreck'D, a Jaded Zen Entertainment property. Copyright 2025, all rights reserved. You're currently watching us live on YouTube. Good for you. But if you're not subscribed, you need to go down to that lower right-hand corner of the screen. There's a red square with a red triangle in the middle of that. Hover your cursor over it, click, boom, you're subscribed just like all the other cool kids. If you're currently watching us on Facebook, you may want to come over to YouTube to the live portion because their subscription has its benefits. So go ahead and click that YouTube QR code and get yourself over to the YouTube channel. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally on Facebook, here is my page. Just click that QR code, drop me a DM or drop a comment. And also, if you want to get in touch with our business page on Facebook, it's right here, Jaded Zen Entertainment, or just click the QR code. And don't forget, every Tuesday and Thursday night at 6:05 p.m. Eastern, you can see Coletrane on the Star Maker Bowling Show. Again, that's at 6:05 p.m. Eastern every Tuesday and Thursday. Click that QR code, and I encourage you to subscribe there as well. Now, let's get back to the show. Right on. Mikey, that's actually my creation.
I was going to say, did you answer Mikey's question?
Yeah, no, I through a bunch of different programs, I assembled that. But yeah, that's me.
I love
the
it.
voice is AI because I can't hit them notes. My voice is too bassy to try that shit, and it comes out like, yeah. So, let's go ahead and see what kind of fools, died in suspicious fashion. So here is Darwin's dumbass deaths.
Oh, Darwin's dumbass deaths, where the foolish take their last breaths. From silly stunts to fatal falls, natural selection laughs through it all. Slide whistle. Ooh.
All right. The first dumbass death. I love that part. I actually let AI completely do that because I couldn't think of anything wacky enough. So I was just like, yeah, this is what it's all about. Make
It
that
is
shit.
pretty dope.
Yeah,
But
it is.
and I would have never thought to have him say slide whistle, because that actually makes it funnier. I have a few of those, Mikey. I have a few.
Yep.
We'll be bringing those out over the next few weeks. Matter of fact, while you're there, why don't you go ahead and give your YouTube and whatever other address that people can listen to you do your thing, because he's a talented musician as well. So while he's doing that, 1982, Arizona. Wouldn't you figure? Two drunk friends shot at a giant saguaro cactus for fun. A 500-pound arm of the cactus broke off and crushed one of them.
Oh, shit. Oops.
That's a horrible way to die.
Oh, and for those of y'all that don't know, those saguaro cactuses are the ones that are huge, like the big giant ones that are protected by the law. Yeah, you can't fuck with those anyway. So, yep, dumbass death, and I'm sure a ticket on top of that. Pakistan, as Barack Obama would say, Pakistan. Pissed off camel. Man, I've mentioned this before a couple of years ago because I remember on our Podbean show. Pissed off camel, 2016. A man tied up his camel in the sun all day, then went to untie it. The camel, being pissed off at being outside for so long tied up, bit off his head.
Oh, shit.
I didn't know they were that.
I didn't know they could open their mouths that wide.
Yeah.
Well, that too, but I didn't know that they were that violent. I know they spit, but I didn't know.
I know they can kick the shit out you too.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know they were like angry like that. I like.
Well,
I didn't know the mouth could open that wide and hit unless he had a peanut head.
Well, I mean, if you're standing outside in the heat for a really long time and you get hangry, anything's
yeah.
possible.
That's true. You
Yeah,
probably wasn't
that's
coming
true.
out with the water and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mikey, go ahead and drop it in the comments, bud. Let's see. South Africa, the home of Elon Musk. Okay, the title of this, I just tell you right now. The guy who hugged a lion.
Oh, God.
Despite warnings, man climbed into a lion enclosure to, quote, prove lions were gentle. They weren't.
Right.
And this last one is a caveat here. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. It's a province in China. In 2021, a man tried to relieve constipation by inserting a live eel in his ass.
Oh, my God.
The eel migrated into the colon, bit through the colon wall, and
Ooh.
entered his abdominal cavity.
Ooh.
The demand it gets better. The man delayed seeking medical care for about a day due to embarrassment. Surgery was required to remove the eel, but the doctor said he could have died if untreated. In some cases, similar incidents were reported, eels of different lengths used in attempts to relieve constipation. One with a 40-centimeter eel in Guangdong, for example. I'm hoping I pronounced that right. The colon is normally a closed, sterile environment. When it's breached or perforated, fecal matter, bacteria, contents of the gut can contaminate the abdominal cavity, which can lead to peritonitis, which is infected. Let's try this again. Infection of the abdominal lining, sepsis, and possibly death if untreated.
Mm-hmm.
A live eel in the colon is dangerous. It can move, bite, and its body may carry pathogens. The bite may cause trauma and then infection. Can you imagine how much that shit hurt?
No kidding.
It's not a common or accepted folk remedy supported by medical science. So, yeah, if you think for any way, shape, or form that that's supposed to be a cure, like when they used to do the bloodletting and the leeches and shit like that, no, don't do that. That's gross.
Yeah, you use a stool softener instead. It's a lot safer.
Or
Yeah.
go eat a Whopper from Burger King.
You know what? Just go to Taco Bell.
No
There you
kidding.
go. There you
There
go.
you go. And just say put extra grease on the meat too.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
all this proves that Mother Nature is the undisputed champion and still undefeated.
Blink, blink, oopa, oopa. Oh, Darwin's dumb as deaths, where the foolish take their last breaths, from silly stunts to fatal falls. Natural selection laughs through it all. Boom! Slide whistle. Splat.
I don't know what's funnier, the stories or the open and close.
Right.
That's why I make the open and close longer than the actual stories, because to me that's hilarious.
It is.
It makes me giggle every time.
Me too.
Brother said Taco Hell.
Yeah.
You ain't lying, man.
No kidding.
Let's see. So we were talking about growing thick skin earlier. You know, here's the deal. If you want to survive the circus out there, you got to have skin thicker than rhino. And that was the whole basis, along with me wanting to understand the psychology of people, of me going dark for an entire year, of picking fights and, you know, answering real angrily. Number one, I was trying to get myself to get a better edge, because as the years went by, the edge I had when I was 18, 20, whatever, just faded. I went through about a decade in my 30s that I truly barely remember. I remember my kids, you know, I remember those special times and shit, But I was in that kind of depression where nothing mattered except the kids. I got up and did just the bare minimum to keep them safe, healthy, warm, and all that kind of shit. But I didn't do any of the things that I thought in my 20s I was going to accomplish. So here in my 40s, I'm doing the shit I was supposed to do in my 30s, which is probably why I'm still in my 30s. But so with that loss of edge, I'd almost got to the point where, I wasn't getting pushed around, but decisions were being made for me pretty easily. And I was easily swayed because it was kind of like, get along to, or go along to get along type of thing. And that ain't me. That's never been me. And so I was like, being positive all the time, being Mr. Positive. Everybody's like, I've seen your videos and you're so positive and shit. Yet you don't, get any of my services or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I started thinking, that's all I am to people, is the nice guy. And there's a whole lot more to me than that. There's a lot of shit that can come out of me because I'm inventive, I'm creative, I have dreams that I don't let go of. And just like that wretched bitch was trying to tell me to just get a normal job because a W-2 job makes you feel more free. How many of you motherfuckers feel free in your W-2 jobs?
Right? Oh my God.
How many of you look forward to that dime raise every year? Maybe you might get 17 cents if you were exemplary. Oh, the thing is, though, I have friends that you would never be able to meet in your life. I have people who respect me that are in the world of pro wrestling, in the world of movies, in the world of theater, in the world of entertainment. I have 4 projects in development that I have really, really not only high hopes for, but the one I almost damn guarantee that's going to be a success. And, I've had businesses in the past, but when I went into those W-2 jobs, it was a white knuckle grip the whole way there. And the other thing I didn't like was there was 2 sets of rules. The sets of rules for, the middle management and, some of the cute people. And I was of the advantage of being, one of the better looking people that got preferential treatment. But my voice, my laugh intimidated people. I was told on a regular basis, your voice is so deep that it just carries. Can you just, you want me to change my damn vocal cords? Like, what the fuck? My laugh is as my voice. It's rambunctious. People get a little disturbed by the laugh. Can you keep the laughter down? Meanwhile, some bitch across the room scream laughing about some stupid ass shit that somebody sent them on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Or
a guy you could hear halfway down the building laughing loud as hell, but he was a white guy, so it was good.
So for some reason, even though I was probably the nicest guy there, I was intimidating, because my laugh, my voice, my presence, so, and it was that way in a lot of jobs too. I got the preferential treatment of being not an ugly person. Cause I've gotten free shit like all my life. I've gotten rides to places from people I don't know, it's just, I understand I have a certain privilege, but there's those people who, and I'm admitting that I know I have a privilege over a lot of my brothers, but there's a lot of white people that have more privilege than they want to admit.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I hate, especially when I was at a job, but even in life, is you can scream at me, yell at me, want to take a swing, all this kind of shit. But the minute I reply and my voice is a little higher than this, I'm aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Angry black woman.
Angry black man.
So much.
And then the white girl tears start where they feel threatened.
Mm-hmm.
And if a white girl feels threatened by a big black dude, who's going to be believed?
Right.
So that's one of the things right now why there's so much animosity between races. We don't trust each other.
Mm-hmm.
And especially blacks, we've been told all the time, separate but equal. And then it was like, okay, you know, we're going to integrate you and all that. Look up redlining.
Oh yeah.
Thing is, they try to tell you, especially this Kirk bitch, will try to tell you that we're broke and poor because we didn't have the mental capacity to do the things that other white people do. When in reality, we didn't get our 40 acres and a mule that we were promised.
Exactly. You didn't
We
get the
didn't get
privileges.
land.
Mhm.
We weren't part of the Homestead Act. So a lot of you Nebraskans that got grandma's farm in your, you know, in the will or whatever, that shit was given to them by the government. They got subsidies. And
Mhm.
yeah, they made it a success. But let's not act like it was an even playing field.
Right.
And that's the thing about the right too, is they think that we think just like them, that we want revenge. We just want to be equal.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we wanted revenge, the game be over. Because the rules that you try to make and we still overcome, that should scare the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
And to
Well,
think that guns were created up in what, England, Scotland, and all that kind of shit. Africans didn't know nothing about no guns.
Right.
They used spears, rocks, and shit to kill lions and tigers. I mean, they was warriors, which is why they brought us over here and bred us like we were some kind of animal.
Mm-hmm.
So when people try to tell you, they'll try to use, well, there's been slavery all through history and yada, yada, that's all civilization. Well, you know what? We're the only ones that still feel it.
Yep.
Because many groups came from a country.
Mm-hmm.
So they know where homeland is. I've got 5 different African countries in me.
And I've never.
I can't even recite them. Other than Nigeria, I know for a fact I'm majority Nigerian. You can tell by how big I am because, you know, a lot of the African, like Kenyans, they tend to be lanky.
Mm-hmm.
But Nigerians are the ones that are, you know, big, bulky motherfuckers. So, you know, that's something that people really need to think about. Like, we've been disenfranchised from everything we know. And even when we were slaves, they would take kids away from mothers and, you know, sons. And that's why something else I'm going to bring up next week. When people complain about black people having real long names that they can't pronounce and it just pisses them off, there's a reason for that.
Right.
Because during slavery times, there was a code because you didn't know where your baby went. So you had to say something that these white people couldn't pronounce. That's a code to the other people to give a message to your baby that was taken away from you. So I hope that clears up a whole bunch of that dumb shit that y'all believe. You know, because again, I live on both sides, so I can talk on this.
Mm-hmm.
But some of y'all have met like 1, 2, 3 black people in your whole life, and you
Right.
think you got all the goddamn answers. Some of y'all live in Wilbur, Valentine, Nebraska, or whatever the fuck, ain't never met a black person in your life.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Have never left 10 miles radius outside of where you were born, but you got all the answers about how we should be happy with what we got.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's ridiculous. So what I'm telling everybody is right now, you're going to get a bunch of shit hurled at you. You're going to get a bunch of whatever side you're on, the other side, they're going to troll you. And if they do, just have the thick skin. And like me, you saw those responses and shit. Was it live or was it Memorex? That was AI. I don't have time to argue with these motherfuckers. Usually the first line is me. And then after they argue after that, I literally copy and paste into Chat GPT and say, scorch this motherfucker. That's it. So that was something else that dumb bitch was talking about that, you know, well, you have time to argue with all these people online. No, I don't. That
My
was AI.
computer is closed. I'm way across the room.
Right.
With yourself, baby.
That's something else you guys need to think about too. Let's see. I know a person who thinks she knows. Put that back up there, please. I think she knows about that. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And a lot of them were the ones that was dating black people back in high school, putting the box braids in and shit, and you know, thinking they was down. But now they swinging to the other side and shit. You know, it's a lot of white ladies with black kids doing this shit too, which makes it worse because their identity is just all muddled.
Yeah.
So as I've been saying for the past few weeks, don't let nobody tell you who the fuck you are. You the only person that knows who the fuck you are. And, fight like hell when people are trying to take your rights away from you. Because that's exactly what's happening. So, let me turn this up a bit because I like that song. I'm probably going to get copyright strike, but I don't care.
Hey, I think sounds familiar. Is that? Did you ask for permission?
No, but it was free to download. So, but on the post show, I'll go ahead and edit that shit out. Oh, I almost forgot. Let's take a look at some of these guesses as to who my famous relative was. And let me put up the. Okay, let's see. All right. That's me right there. Okay, so the next minute, go ahead and flood with your answers. We got Jesse James. We got, and not Road Dog Jesse James. It was Jesse James, the you know who the fuck I'm talking about. That was a bad joke. So we had Jesse James. We had goddamn, help me
Billy
here.
the Kid.
Billy the Kid. That was the most common one.
We had
What did Randy say earlier? You still here, darling?
You were related to Kenny.
Jesse James, Doc Holliday, Dirty Dave.
Yep. Who was Dirty Dave? Oh, John. That's a good one, Ghost.
Who is that?
John Wesley Hardin. Oh,
Butch Cassidy.
Badass. Yeah, Butch Cassidy. Somebody said that.
Billy the Kid. Did you already say that?
Oh, yeah, we said that several times.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't have a good drum roll, but let's see. This is the bongo one. So those cartoons. Oh my god. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can pull this up here. Where are we at? Let's see. I said it earlier. Jesse James. Bass Reeves. I don't know who that is. Bass Reeves. Oh, the Lone Ranger. He just said the Lone Ranger. Duh. All right. Well, after all the guesses, the answer is y'all was mad in the motherfucker, wasn't y'all?
I was like, what?
Like, you hit the wrong button.
All right. The answer is Pretty Boy Floyd.
Really?
Notorious bank robber. He was kind of a Robin Hood of his time. He would tear up mortgages. He would basically rob banks and distribute it to the poor. So, yeah, Pretty Boy Floyd. And yes, being called a pretty boy when I was younger was not a compliment. Because it was always by them big burly mother. Hey, look at this pretty motherfucker. You know? The jealous ones because like the girl that they was wanting to be with, I was with her. Or she was looking at me or something like that. But hey, you got it, whatever. But yes, Pretty Boy Floyd is my 7th cousin, I believe, some shit like that.
Once removed, I think.
Yeah, see, I don't understand none of
I
that shit.
don't get all that.
I don't know who's removed from what and whatnot, and
how they're removed and how they're still connected.
My cousins are my cousins, period.
Period.
Yep.
So I always knew I had a little outlaw in me, but it's literally in my blood. So he was a Depression era bank robber. They called him the Robin Hood of Cooks and Hills. He robbed banks, but also burned mortgage papers so farmers kept their land. Broke the law, but he was a legend. So, you know, me being Reverend of the Unforgiving, you know, that's not just branding. That's, I forgive you. Oh, so, and it did not need it. Hey, did you put your, did he put his?
No, I didn't see it come up.
Yeah, go ahead real quick, dude. Put your address up there so we can put it on the screen. Otherwise, you know what? I'll put 5 5 minutes together for you next week. So that way you can I'll even bring you on, let you talk about your shit. How about that? Google has failed me again. Somebody answered, and it was like a smart ass answer. It was like, well, everybody from the Midwest thinks they're related to Billy the Kid. So it's like, nope.
It wasn't Starkweather.
Right.
Boy, yeah. Well, yeah, that'd be too close though to be.
Yeah.
And plus, I said a famous Western outlaw.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I just thought you said a famous outlaw.
No, from the Old West. Oh, and by the way, we are doing the cup of coffee thing, so I would like to at least, give my crew something for being here. And this shit costs, so tips as low as $1 or as high as you want to go. You are not obligated. I mean, I'm not going to pressure you like other people would do, but it's totally up to you. If you enjoy the show, go ahead and click that donate. Otherwise, make sure, if you haven't already, that you have subscribed to us with that little red square with a red triangle, right bottom part of your screen. Hover, click, like, love, make a comment, and make sure you share. Let's see. Let me get it. What are you talking about, bro?
I think he's talking about
He's talking about his
information.
YouTube. You don't know that by heart.
What's that?
Don't worry, I don't know mine by heart either.
No, I was about to say, don't you talk to nobody about that. Actually, there was a couple of things I wanted to show y'all guys real quick. This is what I actually wanted to close with, like 3 weeks in a row, and forgot. So I'm gonna wait for Mikey real quick, though.
Can I say something while we're waiting?
Hit the wrong button.
Yeah.
Okay. So I understand October 14th is Charlie Kirk's birthday, and
Is it now?
that the United States will mourn him and people will
The fuck we will.
stand up for him and all that stuff. I would like to add that October 14th is also George Floyd's birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Good to know.
So when you see those flags flying at half mast, that's for George Floyd.
Yep.
I'm not going to get
you
into
know
the
what?
whole Charlie Kirk thing right now, but I just wanted to let you guys know that I love
This
it.
flag will be at half mast.
Okay. I
Yep.
love
And for those of you who don't know, this is the African American flag.
Yep.
The blood we've lost, the color of our skin, the land that was taken.
it. Yep.
So a little bit of history. Mikey, we got to get out of here, buddy, but send it to me on DM and I will make sure to put it in the replay part. I can just go ahead and insert it. So, yes, grow your armor, but keep your heart soft enough to hear and soft enough to care for people. Protect your mental health, check in on your people, and help them with theirs. This world doesn't get any easier, but we do get stronger, guys. So if life tries to drag you down, get up, dust yourself off. Remember, you're not doing this alone. Right?
Yep.
Tracks.
Done it a million times, guys. We can do this.
Absolutely.
Yes, we
For
can.
Shell, for JJ, for Mikey, Gonzo, Ghosts, Diane. I know Randy was in here. I know
Elena.
Bob was in here. And if I missed you, Elena. My God, I miss Elena.
Tyra was in here too.
Tyra.
Yep.
I try to thank everybody individually, make you feel special. But thank you for tuning in. Make sure you tune in next Wednesday, same time, same channel, 7 p.m. Arizona time, 10 p.m. Eastern. And for the ladies, this is Coletrane saying, catch you next week.
Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Coletrane, and we hope you enjoyed this episode of TraneWreck'D. If you did, make sure you're subscribed. Let us know in the comments section. Drop a like, and most importantly, share with others. You can easily subscribe here, watch our past episodes of TraneWreck'D here, and check our latest drops right here. Remember to join us live every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Arizona time, 10 p.m. Eastern. Replays the next day by noon Eastern. On behalf of the crew of TraneWreck'D, thank you for watching.